Hey everybody, welcome back to the One Third Podcast. I'm Noah.
And I'm Matt.
Hey, special bro episode. It's only two of us.
It's the bros doing a podcast together.
Every day,
two bros doing a podcast.
6 feet apart because there's a fart.
2 blocks down the street because I live from like.
All we do.
Yeah, man, we like pretty much neighbors.
So we normally kick last episode we kicked Mandy off.
This is
physically
effective immediately.
Effective now.
Yeah, she's no longer.
Purged her.
We've purged her from this
More like
podcast.
she hasn't responded to any of our text messages in the past couple hours.
Yeah, and we've been kind of messy.
We're not recording this on Monday, February 22nd.
Yeah, that's fine. Nah, man.
2 hours before it's going. I texted the group chat at 7:27. It's 10:10. She hasn't even read it.
I'm telling you, she's in the bath. She's taking a long ass bath.
She must have drowned.
Can you? That's not funny to laugh about because, like, can you imagine just like waking up tomorrow and being like, "Local girl drowns in bathtub," and be like, "Just kidding, that's not funny."
I'd call you being like, "Called it."
I called it.
$5.
People commenting, just being like, "I called it too." Gotta rack in those views somehow, babe. Using Amanda's death as a platform to gain views.
Guys, please help donate to the GoFundMe, not for her funeral, for the podcast.
For us. Yeah. But so it's just the bros today.
Just the guys.
Just the guys. Just what's better than this? Just dudes being dudes.
Dudes being dudes.
Dudes being dudes.
It was I asked Robert last week. I was like or I was talking to him about it. I was like, "Hey Robert, it was cool having you on. It sucked, we needed a guest last second." And he was like, "Oh, I would have done it."
Oh yeah.
So I was like, maybe I should get Robert. He isn't on though. So
yeah.
Joe's on the computer.
And if you're curious, I mean, you can always just go watch the episode with Robert in it, as he was quite a spectacular guest. Robert.
I don't think that made it into the final cut, but we did the intro, and I was like, "Oh, introducing, he's our local coin enthusiast, and he's a wild man," and his first thought to do is Robert. He said it really quietly too.
Yeah, he was like.
And then we had to cut that one because
we kind of goofed it.
No, because Robert wouldn't talk. Because I was like, "So Robert, tell me about like we got into shaving all that," and he was just like, "Yeah,
it's pretty cool."
Yeah, and then we sat there and we paused for so long, and I was like, "Okay,
come on,
we're done."
Just throw us a bone, Robert. Throw us a bone.
I was like, "Robert, if you want a beer, you gotta try me in."
We love you, Robert, but please speak up. Yeah, so that's deleted scene.
Deleted scene.
Robert.
I hope I still have it. I might have deleted it. I hope not.
God, that was iconic. Yeah, because in the second one, he was just like Robert, but the first one, he was just like.
Yeah, he did the
finger. Yeah, the finger guns.
If you watch this on YouTube, you'd see with the finger guns. He went. Robert.
Yeah, he about to walk into a bank and be like, "Give me the fucking money."
Oh no, who is that? I'm a robber.
Give me all your mommy gold.
Here, give us your best Robert introduction.
I'm Robert.
No, do the finger guns.
Oh yeah, sorry about Robert.
I love Robert.
If I had a mommy point every single time I said I'm Robert, sissy.
I'm gonna go see Robert this weekend, maybe.
Yeah, man.
We have like a little band sesh. We're gonna go play some instruments.
Then you're gonna go toot your horns.
I am gonna bring my horn. We're gonna toot it.
Maybe toot it. Maybe honk it.
Play a low C.
No saxophone playing a low C sounds like.
It does that at home, like in the band room. I can like play out, but at home it's just like.
Maybe it's just because you're not putting enough air into it.
Well, yeah, because I don't want to play that loud if there's people home.
True, but
Because I
I
always
mean
have
that
to
would
go
solve
downstairs and be
problems.
like, "Hey, Dad, I'm playing. So if it's loud,
I apologize.
can't do much about it." And he was always like, "Oh no, go do what you want to do." But
Yeah.
but I'm always just like, I don't want to play that loud. So he has to come in here and be like, "Hey, can you quiet down in there?"
Hey man, yeah, I'm just trying to do some stuff down here. It's me, Robert.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine someone kicking down your door, Robert?
Put your hands in the air. I'm Robert. I'm here to rob the place. Oh,
Is that Donald
Rob.
Trump?
It's gonna be huge. Nah, and then there's
I
me
never
just
have any.
naturally playing the trumpet and being the loudest thing in the house for like a half hour straight. It's like you can't avoid that. If you're playing the trumpet, you're loud. So you might as well just own it and just blow everyone's eardrums out.
There's gonna be a serious conversation when I have the Terryville boys on, because we always had the way our thing was aligned. It was front row clarinets. We had like two
Mhm.
flutes, um, and then saxes. It always went. So if you're sitting looking at the director left to right, in a straight line, it went youngest to oldest. So like seniors on the right, freshmen on the left.
Yeah.
And then it went saxes, trumpets, low brass, and then percussion behind them. And
Yeah.
so it just like happened to where I sat. There's always until I left and moved with you guys. Um, it was two saxes per grade, and it just worked out like that. When I in middle school, there was like 8 of us. It was just
Yeah.
me and Luke that made it to high school.
Carried
Um,
on.
and so it was kind of like that for the trumpets. I mean, the trumpets were more spread out. But behind me and Luke was always Ben. And so there was always, since freshman year, we've had the war of saxes versus trumpets.
Yeah, as they do in most schools.
So I asked them last night, I'm like, hey, when do you guys want to like come on so we can like have a chat? Because I want to tell you, it'll be better than the Liz episode.
It's literally gonna be a straight episode of them literally
It's
going at
just
each
going to be
other.
warfare.
Yeah, like they're literally gonna be like, "You suck! No, you suck! You play saxophone!
You're a dirty trumpet player.
Get off my show! Get the
And
hell out of
we play
here!"
a lot of Hearts of Iron, which is a game where it's like a World War II simulation, where it's like a map game. Have you ever played Risk,
Risk? I think
the
I played
board
Risk
game? It's like
like
Risk,
once.
but like way more complicated. Like you control a country and you just take over whatever you want. Really, you can do whatever you want. But we play it a lot because they know a lot about it, or we all know a lot about like history and
They're
like
history geeks.
not well known wars that maybe lasted like a day.
Yeah.
And the most random countries. So, and Ben is a German descent as well as a lot of English, but he started to learn. Do you know what Duolingo is?
Yeah.
Yeah. He started
Yeah.
learning German on Duolingo, but he was serious about it. Like he practiced every day in homeroom. He would like fluently, like he'd speak to us in German. So he actually kind of knows how to speak German. Like he knows the basics. So there'll be a lot of making fun of him for being German, even though I think he's more British than anything.
Yeah. You just once you start doing stuff like that, you're like, man, you just gotta poke fun at him for it.
And if you look at him, he looks like Tommy in it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that was a whole discussion
Amanda
last
said
time too.
he didn't. I think he does more than Purple.
Yeah, I see the Tommy in it. In
If
him.
Tommy in it was a couple years older, because Tommy, he's like 16, I think.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely, I see the Tommy in it personally.
yeah,
But yeah, that was a fun debate too. It's like, no, I see Tommy in it. No, I see Purple.
oh my god, we got I was just I learned the first chord in guitar. I think it's an E, because I was gonna take a guitar class in first or last semester, but schedule stuff, and I couldn't take it. so I was gonna learn guitar. That was my first choice class. My first choice was AP European history, but of course that didn't work out.
Huh.
I didn't need the credit. I was willingly taking the
That
class
that's when you know you are into that stuff.
voluntarily. Yeah, I was like so hyped. I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this class.
Yeah.
But then I had to switch for guitar. But then they were like, hey, you're actually missing a credit you were getting with AP Euro. So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But what did I get? Oh, that's why I took the history of rock and roll class because that
Yeah.
was the credit.
That's a
So
solid class, man.
but Ben taught him, as most things, Ben taught himself how to play piano. Ben can play piano really well for no reason. Ben can speak German for really well for no reason. He taught himself how to play guitar. And and so I have it's my brother's guitar, and he kind of knows how to play, I think. But so I took it and I was like, teach me how to play. And I played and he's like, that sounds disgusting. You need to get a tuner. So then he taught me how to tune it. And well, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just the dials or the whatever they're
The
called.
dials.
I don't know what they're called.
The tuner.
The cranky.
The screw.
Screw.
The crank.
That's a
The
screw.
crank.
It's a crank.
Oh, hold on, excuse me. I gotta tune my guitar. Real quick. Monkey pops out of the hole.
Yeah, and he was teaching me how to play guitar, and that was cool. I could play a chord.
That's all you need. You can do a lot with one chord.
And we'll likely talk about it more, but I have this guitar pick, Main 2019.
Main.
Here,
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll help, but
I can kind of see it. Yeah.
there you go. Focus. So I found that we went on a Maine trip. So Ben has his family has a boathouse in Wells, Maine.
Yeah.
And we took a trip up, and it was nice. It was a really good trip. But we stopped to go pee-pee in New Hampshire. And when I got out, like directly below my feet, I just stepped out. We're at the rest stop in New Hampshire, and there's a guitar pick sitting right there, right below my feet. Picked it up. That's the guitar pick.
Hey.
So now I have a guitar pick for no reason. It's been in my phone case since.
Well, now you have the knowledge of an E chord to get some use out of it. Now you can just be like, see this guitar pick? This is for my E chords. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This pick's for my E chords. This one's for my A chords. This one's for my B flat chord.
No, but we want to do like band stuff. So I was like, hey, why don't I bring the guitar and you could teach me actually how to like play more than a chord? Because he was teaching me over the computer.
Yeah.
So now I'm becoming like a full band kid, learning a lot of
more than one
instruments.
instrument. Yeah, you're starting to catch on, man. Now you got saxophone, a little bit of guitar, a little bit of piano. You know.
That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah. I got some trumpet. I got a little bit of flute knowledge up in here. A little bit of trombone, a piano. I've played maybe a note on a guitar.
It was cool. I got to teach a kid. He didn't understand the concept of like playing multiple notes at once on the piano. Yeah. Because he saw notes stacked on top of each other, and he's like,
"What is that? What?"
But I mean, he understood that. He was like, "So do I just like play them at the same time?" And I was like, "Scoot your booch." And I just like I played it out for him. So he was like, "Oh," and I felt so cool. I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I took this class last semester, and that's the only knowledge I have of piano.
I'm a music kid.
But it's great because none of them are music kids, so I feel really cool in that class.
Yeah, when you take music classes that aren't like, your bands and your choruses, like you're being a music kid, it's such a flex. Because, like, I'm the only band and chorus kid in my music tech class, and I feel like I'm popping off all the time, dude. I'm like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, and so the teacher wants to get me more involved because I can't really do much. There was 2 kids that showed up today. We get 3 on a good day, and he was just like, so I go over and I'm like, hey, can you help with anything? You want me to listen? But he started the rhythm of the day. I asked him. He wrote ROTD, and I was like, the heck does that? What does the R mean? Obviously, I know what of the day is. He's like, rhythm. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh.
Starts drawing bar lines. And I'm like, those are not at all straight. And he's like, I'm not an artist. And
In a broad sense, he kind of is, but that's beside the point.
and then he was like, at the end of class, and we were talking about it. He's like, oh yeah, maybe you can like I'm gonna start getting you more involved. To help you listen to them more, help them play more, and maybe tomorrow you think of the rhythms you can do. And then he's like, that's what you can do. You're now in charge of the rhythm of the day. And I'm like, oh really? And he's like, you can do in any key signature or time signature you want, any notes we've learned. And I was like, ooh, I can. You know what we learned today?
That's such power.
We learned eighth notes.
Shut the front door.
Oh heckle yeah.
That is
HE double intense. Hockey stick, yeah.
See, for all the people watching it that are like not music kids at all, they're like, I don't even understand that. And then us band kids over here like, eighth notes, wow. Now, speaking of your little teacher, I don't know if you noticed, but you were in the Tinkletorium earlier during school today, and I was talking to said teacher, and he was like, hey man, haven't seen you in a hot minute. How's life been going? He's like, usually the only time I hear about your life is when Noah Keaton says that over his weekend he was either talking with Matt or hanging out with Matt.
That's usually it. He's like, oh, Noah, how was your weekend? And I either go, I worked at Walmart, or I hung out with Maddie B this weekend. Yeah. And he's like, oh, Maddie B, of course. He says that like that every time.
Yeah, and that's what he said to me. He's like, usually the only time Noah shares his weekend plans is if he's like, I hung out with Maddie B or I went to work at Walmart.
That's usually it.
He knows now. He knows your routine at this point.
Well, I mean, everybody says the same thing. Usually it's just like, oh, I hung out with friends.
I didn't really do much this weekend. That's the killer. I hate that.
I always go, hung out with Maddie B.
That was a perfect crack. I don't know if it's gonna come out in the audio, but that was perfect.
I don't know either, but
that was like a like you could hear the gas in those joints just releasing.
You could hear the arthritis pop out.
Man broke his finger in the process. He's looking at Noah's finger and it's like
they're all backwards.
It's like SpongeBob in that one episode. Got him, baby. Got him's GGLOL. Just kidding. I never said that. Watch this. Socks in the laundry. I missed both of them. Anyways.
I don't have my laundry basket is my brother's room because he's not home. He's in college.
Take my clothes. What?
No, I have 2 laundry baskets of clean clothes that I haven't worn in probably months. They're likely wrinkly. Then on the floor, I use as the like dirty clothes part. So then when I need to do a load of laundry, as in when I've used up all my favorite shirts, I take the clothes out of a clean hamper, put it in the other clean hamper, put the dirty clothes in the now empty hamper, and do laundry.
That's a power move right there. That is a big old power move.
And not only is there dirty laundry on my brother's floor to keep the mess out of my room, there's dirty laundry on my floor. It's mostly socks.
Dirty laundry everywhere.
But I keep it in a neat pile. It's not all over the floor. It's in the corner.
Yeah, it's got a designated area of which it will rest.
So
that's where it's gonna
there's my wall, and then it like punctures out a little bit because there's a closet in the hallway. And where it meets, where it punctures out, that's the corner.
Yeah, and that's where it goes.
And that's the spot.
I remember when I used to live upstairs, it was like right off to the right of my bed, but it was in front of my bureau where all my clothes were, like the clean clothes. So to get to the clean clothes, I had to like dig my way through this huge ass pile of dirty laundry. And but now I have the luxury of an actual laundry basket. And it's actually so motivational because I'll be sitting over here getting dressed because my closet's right there. And all of a sudden, I make it a game. And every single time I go shoot the laundry in the basket, I go, whoop. I miss half the time, but hey, at least I had fun trying.
I made that as quiet as possible. I made
Yeah,
no
you.
noise. See, when you've been spoiled on hampers your whole life, you just look at them and go, "It'll do itself."
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuz
That's.
up until, my mom still offered to do my laundry at
Oh yeah.
when I was still living with her, and I'm like, "I know I can do the laundry." She's like, "Yeah, but I'm already up and moving. Like I'll take it." And I'm like,
I'll take it. Yeah. I feel like parents always nag you for doing that when you're younger. They're like, do this, do that. But then, when you get
then they get
older, they
bored
know
and they don't
you
have anything
do.
to do.
Yeah, then they're like, okay, I'll do it. And then you're like, well, I guess I don't have to do anything anymore. Like, my mom just gets bored and takes over sometimes. Like, sometimes she'll just come in and change my sheets on my bed for me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
See, that's why I'll strategically plan my dad will leave sheets on my bed. He's like, "Hey, you should change your sheets." And I'm like, "Oh, nice. Thanks. I didn't even think of that." But I'll strategically plan, so I'll see my brother has like a hamper full out in the hallway. So I'm like, "Oh, he's going to do laundry soon." I
Yeah.
go and put my laundry in the load.
Laundry in
So
his
now,
yeah.
so then he has to move it to the dryer so he can use the washer. But then I'm already doing stuff. I may be out of the house. He has to take my laundry from the dryer, which he put in there, and put it in the hamper.
Making him do his dirty work, your dirty work for him.
It is a power move. That's how you get around. That's the
That's
peak
big brain.
laziness.
That's peak. Like, you find loopholes to this stuff. Like, you're like, if I don't do it, but I wait a certain amount of time strategically, then someone else will do it,
Exactly. Why
It's
I
like,
don't want to do it.
yeah, I don't want to do it, so you do it. You see the mailman pull up and put mail in the mailbox, but then all of a sudden you're like, well, I don't want to get up and go walk outside. It's cold. So you just sit there and pretend like it never happens, and all of a sudden my sister will come and be like, have you seen the mail today? And I'm like, I have. They might have.
I
And then they
don't
go under it.
understand why I don't have a mailbox at the end of my driveway. There's a perfect spot for it. I have to go out and down the hill. I live on a lake, and there's like a communal place where there's a bunch of mailboxes, and they're all like people put them there willingly because they're all different mailboxes. Each one is different. Like it's not those big honking things. Like I had that at my mom's where it was like a big box with like little safes.
Yeah.
And if you got a big package, they put a key in your lock so you could like open the big one to get your big package. And it's like, I understand that because we live on like, you can't really go down, but like there is perfect room. I sometimes I'm like, oh boy, the mail, and it's like snowing or pouring rain, and I'm like, I could suicide run out there right now and maybe slip on ice or maybe get soaked, but at least I don't have to drive all the way down.
Yeah. Honestly, it's funny you mentioned that because literally I think it was just yesterday. My family and I went on a little walk. We like to take our dog for a walk.
You do that, yeah?
Yeah, and so we were walking by, and so my dog decides halfway through the walk that she's got to take a little number 2.
As they do.
And yeah, so of course we have our little little poop bag, and you gotta, in the inside out, fold it up, tie it, and like we're so far away from home, and we don't want to leave it anywhere, so we just end up carrying it, right? So my sister's carrying this, and we walked by your mailbox and went, souvenir for Noah? And I went, don't you dare.
That's evil.
That is so evil.
Yeah, but imagine a mail. Say I got like an Amazon box that day. They wouldn't care. They'd stuff it in and squish
and
it.
The back would be. Well, granted, it isn't a bag. As long as the bag doesn't pop, you should be fine. It's just gonna be gross. But I'm like,
but it'll be mushed in the bag.
It's so evil. To just leave a bag of dog dookie in your mailbox, like.
I thought you were gonna say like you walked by my trash cans and you put it in my trash can. I was like, that's at least reasonable.
That's reasonable. No, she wanted to put it in your mailbox because it was like.
Who, Allison?
Yeah.
Fucking bitch.
It was funny. She was like, I'll put this in the mailbox. I'm like, don't you
What did
dare.
your mom say?
Mom thought it was funny.
Heather.
Yeah. So yeah.
She's supposed to have my back.
Nah, she just.
She's tired of feeding me her snacks.
Yeah, she's tired of getting your dusty ass cheese ball fingers all over my video game consoles.
Man, I just wanted to use the new Wii U.
He just wanted to use my brand new Wii U after he just downed an entire tub of cheese balls. His fingers literally looked like he just went to the beach and just clapped a thing of sand in his hands. Man, it was so dusty.
I washed my hands 3 times. You watched me all 3 times. At first, I went. He was like,
I was
"Wash."
quality
You were like,
control.
"Wash your hands," and then maybe. So I went and washed my hands. You're like, "Did you use soap?" And I'm like, "Yes, I used soap." He's like, "No. I want to watch you." So we both walked over to the bathroom. He watched me do it. He was like, "Do it
Mind you,
again."
this is new brand new Wii U. So this is back in like 2012. And so we're like 10.
I wanted to use it.
I know, but it was brand new, and you can't blame me for having that mindset. It's a brand new console. It's very exciting.
No, it's a way funnier story. This
you
way.
got dusty ass
No,
cheese fingers.
because you had like the big like Utz tub that you get from Walmart. We still have them. I just punched the microphone. And I was just like, I got a bat. I was making a funny. I could grab my hand in. I got like a little sandwich bag, and then filled it to the brim, and then got out.
Yeah,
Stuffed in my face.
Yeah. Yummy.
And then,
Monkey.
what game were we even playing?
We were playing New Super Mario Brothers U. It was the only game I remember having at the time, and we were playing it, and we were just going through, having a good time, and this man's just indulging himself over here, and it doesn't bother to notice the fact that he's about to touch my brand new, still like shiny, no greasy fingerprints on it, brand new Wii U gamepad with his fingers fucking dyed orange.
They were dyed orange.
They were literally bright orange.
I had at least 50 to 100 cheese balls.
Man, you like it literally looked like you had taken the cheese balls and just pounded them to the ground, like pulverized them, and then just like rubbed your hands in it for like 10 minutes straight, and it was like, let's play New Super Mario Brothers. I'm like, no, go wash your hands. No, I'd still do that to this day, man. Especially, I'm very particular about that stuff. Like, I'm not like a germaphobe or anything. Not that bad. But like when it comes to like my new stuff or shit, I'm like, don't.
No, it was a brand new console, and I had orange hands.
I got it for Christmas as a gift. The console cost probably somewhere around like $300 to $400 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was expensive. And this man comes in thinking he's gonna wipe his finger. He's gonna use my Wii U gamepad as his personal napkin to get the cheese dust off his fingers.
The funny thing is, the first time I went,
yeah, and
hey, can I use it?
And I'm like,
and you were like, no. Go wash your hands.
Like, absolutely not. Not to mention
the fact that
there was probably under your fingernails too, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like under your fingernails and like between the hands and everything. Like you were.
It wasn't even just like my right hand. It was both hands.
Like legitimately, you literally look like Donald Trump's bad spray tan happened to just your fingers, man. You like literally look like you was so orange.
Dude, I don't know what it is about Utz cheese balls, but those things are addictive. Remember at Iris's party? We were chomping.
Dude, we were munching on some cheese balls. That was a
full thing of cheese balls. It was half gone.
We were going to town on that thing, dude. Cheese balls are so addictive.
Because we went in at like we went in her house at like midnight. So like up until then, we were just munching all day long.
We were nom-nom-nomming, you know?
Nom-nom. Vibing.
My meatballs.
Mark.
I was so proud of myself, dude. I was like, that's so funny. Marco? And I was like, wait a second. His name starts with an M. Yeah.
Moa. Matthew. Oh.
Yeah. Now I feel like we need context for that. So last year we were juniors, and we had some senior friends, and we had one particular friend. His name was Chandler. Mr. Chandler, and he would come in, and his favorite thing for some reason, and I don't remember the story of how he started doing it, but I just remember him doing it. But he used to love just like finding random signs in like words that he could read. But the thing is that he replaces every starting consonant or vowel with an M, right? So it'd be like Murd Ma Mask. On their podcast, Murd Ma Mask. Or Mama Merlin Mamine Mapstick Mick. Like
Mary Mapstick.
yeah, like it was the funniest thing. So I'm like, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we're doing names. So our friend Keegan walks up and like Megan, and like Mandler, Mevin, and then I went Marco, and I thought it was so funny, but his name's literally Marco. I was like, that is literally his name.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How did that start? It was just one day.
That was literally Marco. That was literally Marco.
My Alexa got pissed off.
No, but like last year, Marco, I don't know. Because I think at one point we were in jazz rehearsal and we were sitting there, and all of a sudden she said something, and Marco was like, yes, sir. I mean, ma'am. And he was like, oop. And he's like, I guess I'm sticking with it now. So every single time this should be like, you understand? And Marco will be like, yes, sir.
I think that was in band. I remember him saying, "Oh wait,
Yeah,
ma'am." No. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he did it constantly, and then eventually he just let it stick, and now we do it. I swear to God.
And then Colin would go, "Yes, sir."
Yes, sir. God, dude, it is always good. I think I was genuinely pissing her off in band today. I gotta be honest.
Doing what?
Me being me. She
Oh.
kept saying shit, and I'd just be like, and we'd be looking at her. I'd be like, I don't know about that one. Yeah,
That's
it's
usually
great.
me.
We have a love-hate relationship. Loves me to death, but like, I'm annoying.
Dude, I don't remember why, but for some reason, whenever I had to like email her or we submitted Flipgrids or the smart music stuff,
Mhm.
no, it would be Flipgrids. I always started with going, "Yo, what up, Miss C? How it do?" And from there, I just call her Miss C. From I don't know why, but I cannot every time a Flipgrid. Hey, what up, Miss C? We're
Hey, yo,
playing
what up,
Back
Miss
to the
C?
Future.
Ah ha ha.
No, when she was like the do something wacky was the Where's Waldo thing, where
Yeah.
I forgot to do it, so I did it last second. I was like, hey, I'll just do it right now.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what can I get? I went downstairs, I found an empty cardboard box, and I went, and I put a box on my head, and then so I was gonna do one take, and so I went, hey, yo, what up, Miss C? It's your boy with that cardboard box on his head. We about to be playing some. I don't remember what we were playing.
We're playing something.
It was one of our pieces, last semester. But then, so then it cuts, and I go, ah, not me over here with the box on my head, Miss C, messing up my part. So now I gotta restart. And then I played it again, and then I was like, that was better that time.
God, dude. Sometimes I honestly feel bad because I always have these elaborate like Flipgrid plans in my head, but then I'm like, I'm gonna drag this out way too long. I like to keep it simple and sweet. Like I remember one time I spent it as like a cover photo. It was literally just a picture of me, but I put that like crappy resolution filter on it, so it was just like tiny little pixels, and I went, oops, sorry, image couldn't load. But like I had this expression on where you could literally see my face like this, but like it was like literally dot line. And it was so funny. And I remember because it was an introduce yourself Flipgrid, so it was me, and I was like, yo, what's up, I'm Matt, I'm a senior, and fun fact is I can actually disappear. And so I cut myself out of the picture, like I just cut right then and there, and that was the end of the video. I let it sit there for like 10 seconds, and then the video just ended. I was like, whoop, I'm gone.
Dude, I thought I was so clever. She called me out on it too for the Pixar stuff. We had to play the Incredibles theme song, and at the end I just took a picture just going and making a dumb face, but I drew like the black mask over the eyes, and
Oh
then she
my
thought that was the
God.
funniest thing. She's like, "Oh, I saw that. I thought that was really great," and I was like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
And then on the we had to play Up. I I was pretty proud of this one. I took my I made myself a dapper gentleman,
Yeah.
just like in the whatever I was wearing. I colored over my hair with white. I drew thick glasses on. I drew me a big nose and like and the guy's like suit, and then I drew
Yeah.
the I don't know, it was over here, the grape soda button.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yeah, I don't know why you dressed up like you colored yourself all weird." And I'm like, "It's the
That is.
dude from Up."
Did you not watch the
And then
movie?
she's like, "Yeah, but what's that purple thing on it?" Like, it's
It's
the
the
grape
soda,
soda.
man.
What's
At
his?
the end, he's in the grape
I
soda.
haven't seen that movie forever. What's his name?
Russell.
Russell.
I see.
My
Up is my
man.
Up is my favorite Pixar movie.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, it's such a good movie. It's such a
I
good.
don't. I can never remember what was a Pixar movie.
So that's like your Monsters Universities, your Cars, your Toy Stories.
Toys. I love Toys. Toy Story is a good movie.
Yeah, so like any of the Cars, any of the Toy Stories, any of Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, I think are Pixar.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is Pixar. Like I said, Up is Pixar. I think a lot of
Wally's
those like
pretty
one-off,
good.
all those like one-off ones, like like The Good Dinosaur and Zootopia, I think are Pixar. I'm not 100% sure about those ones.
I'm
I know
looking
that
through
The
all of
Incredibles,
them.
obviously, The Incredibles are, and Ratatouille are
You
Pixar.
know what? I'm gonna say because the one scene, in Toy Story 2,
Yeah.
where the old guy is
The
repairing Woody.
Prospector. Oh no, sorry, not the Prospector.
No, not the
Yeah,
prospect. He's in that movie, but like the old
yeah,
guy
yeah,
is
yeah.
like has
Yeah,
Woody
he's
and he's like repairing him. That's the most satisfying scene of all of cinematography.
just watching this guy polish this like CGI animated toy.
And funny thing about that is so it was my birthday one year and I had friends over and
Really? You had a birthday here?
it was at my mom's house. You probably were
Chip.
there actually.
Oh.
And TJ was like trying to be involved and I was just like, "Oh, get out of the room. It's my
Go.
birthday."
I said stop.
But he had a Woody doll. And so I was taken away from him because I was like, "Get out of the room. I'm having my birthday. Can you leave me alone for this?" Because at the time he hated me, which we're chill now, but
Casual sibling talks.
yeah. So but we were pulling back and forth where it was actually the same his Woody's right arm ripped off,
Yo,
and
that's
then
meant to
and then
be.
he was livid. He was like, "How could you?" He was so angry. But
Yeah.
I was like, "Out of my room."
Get my room.
Yeah, exactly. I was so upset.
Get out. I said stop. That's like meant to be ripping the arm off a Woody doll.
I
Like
think it
it's
was
like
the arm.
I think
Probably
in
was.
that moment you made it more valuable for him because it was like a replica.
Yeah, but Woody got repaired.
You could have repaired Woody if you wanted
Oh,
to.
Coco. Coco's a good movie.
Coco's a really
Coco's
good movie.
the first time I saw Coco was in Spanish class. We watched it in Spanish.
I watched
And
it. When did
I
watch
still
it?
understood it like perfectly fine in Spanish. But then
Yeah.
I went home and I watched it in English and I was like, it's like slightly better.
Yeah. I watched it the English version and it was pretty good. It was very good actually. I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised. You know, it's a funny Pixar movie. Inside Out.
I haven't seen it
That's
fully and I don't like it.
It's so weird, but in
I
like
never sat down and watched the whole thing like through, but I've seen it like somebody had it on and I watched like maybe a third of it
dude,
broken up.
10 out of 10. Anger is the best character in that.
No, I like the bitchy green bitch.
The disgust. It was
Yeah.
it was joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust.
No, because the whole time she was just like,
Yeah,
and I was like,
and then
go
fear.
girl.
I mean, fear is literally just an accurate representation of what I look like. Just a tall, lanky, purple freak.
Yeah, but he's a pussy.
Yeah, I resonate strongly with his look, not his emotion that's tied to him.
Joy is the tallest one.
Tall bitch.
Tall.
tall bitch.
What are you,
Blue.
bitch? 6'1"?
Snap, snap. Let me get some snaps of that. Let me get some snaps. I like that episode of SpongeBob where he goes to the jazz club and he's like, "Hey man, let me get some snaps of that. That was really jazzy."
So did I told you, I said it before. Did I tell you about the soap guy? I told Robert this story. I might have not told him.
I don't think you told me this story.
This just happened Saturday.
Okay.
So I was in the lovely place of Walmart, which I work for, but I do not speak for the company because, um, so I'm in the part where I'm working pharmacy, like putting generalized pills like fish oil or Pepto Bismol or
Yeah.
what are they called,
Over
Tums,
over the counter.
over the counter stuff. And then the other side of it is like soaps, body wash, deodorant, beauty stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working all of that with a couple people, and they work through stuff. So at the end of the night, it's just me. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
And people were chatty today. People came up to me a lot that day, and so I see this guy. I'm working in the pharmacy at this point. All my soap and stuff is done. I'm purely just working on pharmacy.
Hmm.
And I see this guy. And he looks back at me, and then I'm just like, "Sup, sup, dude." I didn't say anything, but I looked at him and I was like, I like gestured like, you need me? And he looked away, and I go, "It's not my problem."
No, I don't wanna deal
So
with
then
this.
I go and just doing my stuff, and then I come back and he looks at me and he goes, and I go, "What?"
Shout out to the audio listeners.
Oh,
He's
I'm making hand signals, and then I
gang
go,
signs.
"Is it like the price? Like, is this 3? You're like, are you wondering what the price is? Because I don't know." Um, and then he does it again. I don't remember exactly what hand motion, but I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he mumbles something, but it's like pretty ineligible. And then I go, "What is it?" I was like, "What's the problem?" He's deaf.
He's deaf.
I figured
Good.
out. I figured out a little quicker than I told the story. Like, he was
Yeah.
doing it, and I was like, "Oh, he's deaf."
Mm-hmm.
So then he's holding a liquid soap that you put like in a bathroom,
Yeah.
like above your sink, and I'm just like, "You got soap, dude."
You get some
And
soap,
then
huh?
he like gestures a little bit more, and then I'm like, I'm gonna bank on this guy can read. So I type in my phone and I show it to him, and I said, "Do you want a bigger soap?" And then he was like, yeah, that's what I want."
Mm-hmm.
But I also mouthed it. I was like, "Bigger? Like, you want bigger?" And he was like, "Yeah." I actually don't know for sure if he could read or not, because I don't know how
Yeah.
deaf people learn how to read. Maybe if like you become deaf after you learn, or I don't know.
How to read?
Yeah.
Well, how
Look,
old was the guy?
it like 40.
Okay. Well, there could be a possibility that he was deaf
But
later
also,
on in life.
he tried to talk to me, and I could not understand a word he's saying.
Well, they
He
don't. They
mumbled.
can't hear the words coming out of their mouths, so
Yeah,
that's
but you
kind of
can
hard.
hear deaf people like mumble, where
Yeah.
it just like it doesn't sound correct, but you can understand what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
He could not speak. Um, but like I could tell he knew how to speak because he was saying words, but they just weren't like full words.
Yeah.
Um, and so I learned that this guy wants the soap he has, like the soap he has, he wants it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So then I go, "Can you like give me 1 sec?" So I whip out my phone, and a lot of people don't know this. You can look on the Walmart app, and it tells you, one, where things are in the specific store you are. Two, if we have it in stock. Usually,
Ooh.
it'll say like it'll either say like nothing, which means we have it, or limited, which means it's a gamble.
Yeah.
Um, and so I look at soap he has, and it says limited, like the bigger version. And I also
Yeah.
show him on my phone. I'm like, "Is this what you want?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what I want." So I go, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay." He doesn't say yeah, but then I look around. I look behind, like the soap maybe was stocked wrong because he obviously didn't find it, so maybe I had to look around. We keep extra stock, overstock on top of the shelves. I was looking at all the boxes, reading the labels. I actually couldn't find where, like, he picked the soap off like loosely. I don't know where it actually went. If I actually knew where it went, I could probably find it. Um, I checked my pallet of stuff. I checked boxes. I don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to tell somebody that you can't talk to, I apologize, sir. We don't have any more. Because I typed on my phone. I'm like, could this guy read? Because he seemed like he knew what I meant.
Yeah.
So I typed it out again. I said, I'm sorry, we don't have any in right now. Again, like I was like, I'm sorry, we don't have any in right now. And he's like, making more gestures. And I'm not making fun of sign language. It's like he made like a bigger, and then I remember this, which made me think, can he not read?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I mean makes sense. I don't know how you're gonna learn how to read if you can't hear.
Yeah.
But then so I start shaking my head no, and he's like, this, and then I point to other stuff because like we don't have any. So I'm like, you can get a different send, and he was just like, no. And then I shrugged. I was like, I don't know what to do for you, dude. There's literally nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And he understood when I went. Like I shrugged, and I looked sad because I was like, I can't find it. I can't. So and then he started to walk away, and he looked back, and I go, like, I'm sorry. And it's hard because I can't mouth words to him because COVID.
Yeah.
But then he, and this whole interaction took like a while because I was like I was really trying to find the soap for him. And then after he left, I was like, that was a thing. Like that was an experience. It was difficult.
Yeah, I imagine it's not easy to talk to people who can't communicate with you.
Because at first I thought he just had like special needs or something because the way he was acting.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, oh, he's deaf.
Well, yeah, he does require some special needs, aka someone to translate because he can't fucking hear anything.
Well, no, I just thought he was like some guy with like autism being awkward.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Because
Yeah.
isn't autism like social awkwardness? Isn't that what it does?
I don't actually know.
I
want
heard.
to say yes. Yeah, look at us being uneducated and stuff.
Hell yeah, dude! It's what teenagers are all about. Impaired communication and social interaction. Yeah, I was right.
Yeah. Okay.
And because he was being physically awkward, so I was like, this guy might have autism, and he's just he doesn't know how to act because he's not getting what he wants. Because I can see he's like looking around, he's upset. And I mean, I'm wearing a Walmart baseball cap, and I'm wearing a vest that says "Proud Walmart Associate" on it.
You can't hide from those people when you're wearing the badge and the work uniform. Ugh.
And so he saw me, but he didn't know how to get my attention because he couldn't speak, which is why I think he's been. If I had to guess, he's been deaf from birth. Because he couldn't speak, and like he didn't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Did you just talk through a yawn?
I may have.
Because your voice just went an octave lower.
Yeah. It's. I mean, you run into some wacky people at Walmart, like a group of 5 teenagers trying to find plates to smash, and buying Hostess donuts and
cupcakes.
That
make me sick immediately.
Yeah. Walmart's a wacky place to be.
All right, well, thank you all for joining on this special bro talk. It wasn't much of a bro talk as much as it was talking about band and Walmart.
Yeah, it's a very chillax episode.
We didn't have a plan because Amanda,
if you're watching,
didn't respond.
No. Eyes on me. You want to tussle? You want to tussle? But
And
yeah,
yeah, thank you
we
all for
hope
the support and listening to us. If you watch this on audio only, give it as high as a rating as you can, 5 star, 10 star, whatever it is. Make sure you tell a friend if
1,000.
they'd enjoy that too. Make sure you tell a friend if you think they would enjoy it. We're teenagers. Um, whoa,
Um,
you could tell. We're
yeah,
band kids. We like games, stuff like that.
we're
So,
here to have a good time, and we hope you do too. So,
and what?
and those phones going off.
And we'll
How
see you all.
unprofessional of them.
Wait, what if it's Amanda? It's not. Okay. We'll see
Okay.
y'all next week.
All
Bye.
right, peace out, everybody.
Bye.